I'm Rick Hoskin with head women's soccer coach Aileen Nasypany for the women's soccer preview. Coach, let's talk about the off season, just what your focus was, and then what was the goal for the off season.
Well, I think we were in a lot of the matches last year, but our focus needed to be on offense. We had a lot of returners coming into this year, 20 players. So, how do we get them doing the right things in the spring to bleed into this fall? Also, spring is also a great time for strength and conditioning for us. So, we worked with Chris Gilbert, our strength and conditioning coach, to really improve in that area so that the ladies are ready to head into the summer, hit it hard, and come back into preseason ready to go.
And then now we're 2 weeks into the preseason with one to go. How has it been so far?
A little rocky start. Getting everybody on the same page, getting the fitness level where we need it to be. With only 1 week of preseason, it's tough to get 30 players all gelling at the right moment. But the ladies have worked really hard. The work ethic has been there, and I'm pleased with the results in the past two scrimmages that we have, and we have one coming up on Saturday. And our feeling is, can we grow every time we step out on the pitch? And I think we're doing those things and trying to get everybody healthy. So it's been a good week so far. I'd love to cap it out with a great game this Saturday.
Uh, Obviously, 2 weeks of preseason. Who has been like standing out so far? I mean, obviously we're still getting ready for the season, but can you just throw a couple of players who've been doing well?
I think for our forward line, I think Abby, returning senior for us, has come back so strong and fit. And it's just fun to watch her out there take people on and create opportunities. In the midfield, Willie and Kat, both returners for us, that gave us a lot of minutes, came back super fit, and their chemistry is fantastic in there. And we're looking for them to really kind of guide our team and control the tempo. In the back, our returning Anj is just fantastic. And she's a leader. We've got some new players in the back, but she's done a really nice job of trying to get them on the same page. And who I think was one of the best keepers in the conference, came back and is really strong. So we're really strong up the court. It's how we get those players on the outside really gelling and getting the team heading in the right direction.
You mentioned Anju Takei, who is a returning captain, and so you lost a couple other voices. Kind of elaborate a little bit on that.
We're looking for some new leadership, but the great thing, Rick, is that we have 12 seniors. So it's a matter if those girls can all get on the same page and all give little moments of leadership every day at practice, in the games. It's not just those big moments when the game's on the line, it bleeds all through the week. So we're looking for all those 12 seniors to be leaders, not just our captains. But we have our goalkeeper. I'd love to have a goalkeeper captain, and now E is one of our captains. Anj has been with me all 4 years, so it's fantastic to have somebody know my mission and my vision, and she's been wonderful, and she just kicked butt in fitness, and so she leads on the field and off the field. And then we also brought in Willie, who's a wonderful student and another player in the core that gives us just that leadership, that mentorship. So I love the cap. We lost some strong captains, but the great thing, Rick, is I brought them both on as my assistant coaches, so they're not gone, they're still in the program.
Uh, we already know the CCA is already competitive. What's it going to take to be into that mix of the competitiveness?
The CCAA, I mean, I feel my fellow coaches feel the same way, is the best D2 conference in the nation from top to bottom. So you have to compete and be ready every single game. You can't take any one for granted. You have to execute when the opportunities are there, and you have to come up with those big saves. So it's showing up every day, not taking any game for granted and looking past it, and just having the hunger to want to make playoffs. And that's our goal as a team, to return to CCAA playoffs and into the NCAA.
All right, Coach. Well, that's about it. We'll see you next week at the schedule opener.
Awesome. Thanks,
All right.
Rick.
Yep. I'm Rick Hoskin with women's soccer captain and senior Anju Takei. Anj, senior year, how's that feel?
It's actually pretty crazy because I feel like time just flew by, and yeah, I was here for like 4 years, and this is my last year, and it's pretty exciting.
You know, 2 weeks into the preseason, and then maybe you include the spring. How's the off season been so far as a team?
I think that spring is where we're able to like find more team bonding and like do community service and stuff together, and like really come together as a team and figure things out for the fall. And I think it's where we push each other to like do our fitness and prepare ourselves for summer too.
Something I gotta ask, and just kind of identify some of the your teammates. Like, who is the team clown, pretty much?
I think the team clown would be E, just because she's always like goofing around. She's our other captain, and she's like always. She knows when to be serious, but she's also very funny, and she's just like keeping a light mood.
And then who's the one that's most serious? The one that's always on top of everybody and just making sure everybody's doing things right.
I think that would be me or Willie, just because we're like more of like the serious like. Well, I would say like yeah, we're just hardworking and we want that to affect the team too. So we lead by example, basically.
Talking about preseason, just what has it been like so far? Just getting adapted with just so little time before the season begins.
I think in the beginning it was a little rough, like trying to find chemistry with the new players, but we have like 12 or 13 seniors, and we have a lot of like core players that are returning. So it's been actually like good for us because we've been connecting well with the new players too, and they've been adjusting pretty well.
Now, last year, defense was actually a key to the season, and you were definitely part of that role. How do you take last year's success in the defensive side into this year's?
I think for me, I'm like playing a whole new position because I was on the outside and now I'm in the center. But I was just like remembering examples from Kendra or Lauren who are playing in the back, and they're just like communicating and they're like solid rocks in the back. So I try to be like them and try to keep the defensive back together.
And then one last question is like, what's it going to take to be competitive in the conference? From top to bottom, it's going to be very competitive. What's it going to take to be in that mix?
I think all of us just need to be more hungry for the goal, especially like finishing all our chances, because in the CCAA it's really hard to even get one opportunity. So when we have that, we have to be able to finish that.
You mentioned goals. Have you and your teammates discussed any goals like as a team that you want to accomplish this year?
This year we want to be top 3 in CCAA and make it to the NCAA playoffs.
Well, that's good enough right there. So, all right, Anj, well, good luck this season, and we'll see you at the home opener.
Thank you.